Hello and welcome to this, my next and latest chess video. This is to show a game, my last chess game that I played recently. That was on Monday the 1st of October 2012. The game is a 5-minute blitz game. It's between myself and a chess engine that I have called secondchessW32. The W32 stands for Windows 32. That's a Windows version of this chess engine. And just before I show the game moves, I'd like to just mention the chess engine. It's a chess engine programmed in the C programming language by someone called Emilio Diaz. I'm going to flash up some web pages here, and you can see www.chess2u.com second chess page, where you can get some information and join in a discussion on second chess engine. And there's another chess page called the GitHub. On the GitHub web pages, this is the chess engine by Emilio Diaz, and it's his second chess page, Pocopito Second Chess, where you can get the Linux version, which is just known as Second Chess, and this is a Linux C compiled version. It does actually run under Windows in the Winboard chess GUI, but you can also get the Windows compiled version, the Second Chess W32 version, which is the one that I'm showing in the video here today. And you can also get the source code, of course, all in a zip file. Anyway, I'm going to bring that down now and finally say that Emilio didn't make this as a highly rated playing engine, not to be the best chess engine in the world, better than Stockfish or Ribka or any of the other top engines. He's made it more as a programming engine to learn programming from, for programmers and chess programmers to learn about the basics of programming an engine in the C programming language. So such things as search methods, minimax and quiescent searches, and all sorts of programming techniques for legal move generation, and all the features you'd associate with a chess engine in the basic C programming code. This is of some interest to me, as it is a long-term ambition of mine to be able to program my own chess engine, so I am learning from the source code. But I also like, of course, to play the chess engines, and this is why I'm showing this chess game that I played against Second Chess W32. So just finally to say, chess engine usually just deals with move input and output in text or PGN format, and if we move to the bottom of the screen here, I can outline the PGN format for this game. But chess engines can be associated with another chess program called the chess GUI, which stands for Graphical User Interface, which provides the piece and the board representation, so it makes it easier to play along and view a game and to analyze a game from. This particular chess GUI is known as Winboard, which is used for Windows computers, and this whole setup, Second Chess W32, playing in Winboard, is playing on my Windows 7 desktop computer. There's also a Linux version of the chess GUI, which is very similar. It's known as Xboard, and there is also another chess GUI program which I recommend called Arena, very good, and that works on Windows computers. There are others, but I don't need to go into that now. I'm just going to go through the game now. So let's start. I play 1 e4, and just to say, the Linux version, Second Chess, always plays d5, the Central Scandinavian opening against 1 e4, but here the Second Chess W32, the Windows version, always plays knight to c6. This is the Nimzovich defense. I'm not sure what the best reply is here, but I simply play knight to f3. It's a good developing move, and I'm thinking that if black were to play e5 next, I could simply play d4 and by transposition get to the Scotch opening, which is in fact my favourite white opening. So I'd be hoping for that, but actually black instead plays knight to f6. This is a 2 or 3 knights opening, I guess. I'm not very familiar with it, and I just elect to play e5, advancing the e-pawn, and black plays knight to g4. So black is now doubly attacking that e5 pawn, and I need to defend it, so I play d4 to defend it. Black plays e6, which allows his dark squared bishop to develop along a reasonable diagonal, and I straight away play h3, attacking the knight on g4. Black brings his knight back to the only safe square now, to h6, where I immediately play bishop takes knight h6. And now black has to recapture the bishop piece with g takes bishop h6, and here there is now a fractured pawn structure on black's king side. There's a half open g file, no black pawn on that g file, and there's double pawns on the h file, and this is a weakened structure on the king side for the pawn formation for black, and I hope to take advantage of that through the game, and we'll see how that develops. I now play simply knight to c3, developing again, and black now plays d6, and this is a move to attack on the e5 pawn and attack the white centre. The only drawback to it is it limits the developing potential of the black bishop, the dark squared black bishop. I now continue with a developing move, my light squared bishop to b5, and that's good because it pins the black knight to the black king, and the black knight now is not attacking the white centre, so lessening the pressure in the centre, but black can easily deal with this and plays bishop d7 to unpin the knight, and now the knight is once again attacking in the centre and causing central tension. Here I simply play a3. I'm not sure if this is a good move at this time. It may be wasting a tempo. I just did it specifically to stop the knight going to b4. Not too worried if the knight went to a5. Knights on the rim are a little dim, and it takes extra moves to rearrange them and reposition them. But anyway, let's go on, and black now develops his bishop, fianchettos his bishop, bishop to g7 on the long diagonal, which is in fact the best diagonal for the bishop to be on, and it's also attacking the e5 pawn again. He did that because his earlier move, d6, is now blocking in and limiting his development on the original diagonal there for the bishop. I now carry on with a kingside castle for king safety, and black castles kingside. I just want to query the kingside castling potential here. It's not as strong as a normal kingside castle. For a normal kingside castle there would be a black knight on f6, there would be a pawn on the g file, usually on g7, sometimes on g6, and there wouldn't be double pawns on the h file, usually the pawn on h7. So this castling structure is not as strong as a normal castle on the king side. I now play rook on f to e1 to further protect my e pawn, and black now plays rook on f to e8, to e8, and that's evening up the pressure on the rooks on the e file. And here I simply decide to play e takes d. I know that black can add even more pressure to my advanced e pawn, and I can't defend it, so I just tend to accept this, and black now plays back c takes d, and black has an extra pawn in the centre. This e file rather now is half open, i.e. there is only a black pawn on the e file, and the fight for the centre will be interesting to see how that goes now. So I now play knight to e4, attacking the unprotected black d6 pawn. Black protects it with queen to e7, and I simply play c3 to complete my pawn centre, my pawn chain in the centre. Black now takes the opportunity to expand in the centre with d5, which is attacking my knight on e4. I bring the knight to a nice knight outpost on c5, attacking the light squared bishop of black. Black now plays a simple a6 move to try and dislodge my bishop and attack my bishop, so I retreat the bishop to safety to d3. And black continues in the centre. He uses his extra pawn in the centre to put more pressure in the centre and try and get central control himself. His pieces are very active as well in the centre. He's got his knight acting on e5, his queen, his rook, and his bishop. So I need to do something quick, and I elect to play knight takes bishop, and black plays queen takes knight. Now black would possibly like to play e4 and advance in the centre, so I bring my, that would fork my bishop and my knight by the way, so I bring my bishop back to c2 to prevent that, and I also hope with that move I could later or next play queen to d3 and have my queen and bishop very strong on the diagonal against the black h7 pawn. But black stops all that with a further pawn advance, creating his own pawn centre with e4, and this is also attacking my knight on f3. So I bring the knight on f3 to safety on h2, nice little hole for it there, and I'm hoping to reposition the knight further later up on the king side. Black here plays now rook on a8 to b8, and I presume his intention is to then push the b pawn and attack on the b file. I now simply play f3 to attack black's pawn centre. Earlier black was attacking mine, and now I'm attacking his, because at the moment that's just defended with his pawn and his rook, and I've got my bishop and my rook and my pawn attacking there. So black defends it further with f5. I simply play f takes e, and black again plays f takes e, just cementing his pawn centre still. So the fight for the centre is carrying on. I now develop with my queen to g4, threatening the exchange of queens. If black plays queen takes queen, I could take with my knight and go on from there. But black doesn't play that, he plays queen to c7 instead. And also just note the white queen is pinning the black bishop to the black king. So here I spot the open f file, and I play rook on e to f1. What I want to do is get all my pieces into the attack on the king side, attack against the black king, and I want to prove that that king is not in a very safely protected position, and really that black king's castle, kingside castle, wasn't very safe or effective. And I'm hoping to get my rooks into position and my bishop and my knight to attack on the king side, and we'll see how that goes. Black immediately spots he can win a pawn in the centre with knight takes d4, because if I take back now, black can take queen takes bishop. Well, in fact I do play that, and I accept I've lost the pawn in the centre, and I play c takes knight d4. Black plays queen takes bishop d4, and here I make a bit of a mistake. I play rook on a1 to d1 to further protect my pawn on d4, slightly forgetting that the bishop is pinned and still can't capture the pawn yet. So black queen now plays queen takes pawn b2, and here I start to develop my major pieces. I want to try and get my major pieces now on the f, g and h file and prove that the attack against the black king will be solid, and so I play rook to f4. Black finally gets his king off the pin from the queen, which will allow his bishop to get back into the game, so he plays king to h8. I now rearrange my major pieces with queen to f5, and I have a strong battery on the f file, but it does mean now that black can take the d pawn. Bishop takes d4 with a check. I move my king out of check to h1, and black brings back the bishop to e5, attacking my rook. I take the rook off to h4, and now I've got two major pieces on the f and h file. If I could somehow get my other pieces, a major piece further into the action, possibly on the g file, that would be very helpful, and that's something I'm going to try to do. Black now plays queen to b3, attacking my rook on d1. So I move the rook to f1, but black has a good move here, queen to g3, and this is threatening checkmate with queen takes knight h2 checkmate. So I must do something about that. It's also threatening queen takes rook on h4. So I know I'm going to go and exchange capture down here, and to prevent all of that I play rook to f4, rook on h to f4, and I know I will go the exchange capture down, i.e. black will play bishop takes rook at some stage, and I can recapture with either my queen or my other rook. First of all, black for some reason plays pawn to h5. I think he's trying to stop my knight coming into the game, but I still in this position am having quite a bit of pressure from black, so I do want to play my knight into the game on the king side, and I now play knight to h4. Even though it's directly attacked by the pawn, I may get an opportunity, and this may prove useful later in the game. Now black does play bishop takes rook f4, and I simply play rook takes bishop back, so I've gone the exchange down. But I'm hoping now that my major pieces are in a good position, getting in a good position against the black king, which is in an unsafe position, I hope. And black now plays h takes knight, h takes knight g4, and I recapture rook takes g4, threatening the black queen, and the queen goes to e1 with a check, and I can play my king to safety out of the check, king to h2. And now I really do hope to go against the black king with my queen and rook, and hope that the black pieces are all out of position. Black here now plays pawn to h6, trying to make some space somehow for his king to move to. I don't know if he had any better moves, I'm not certain, but I can now play a good move, queen to f6 with a check, and black can't move on the g file because my rook is on the g file, stopping that. He can move to h7, but now I can simply move queen to g7, and that's checkmate. So that does prove my theory that the black king wasn't safe in its kingside castle, and I managed to exploit it, even though I lost the centre. That doesn't really matter because I won the game. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, little introduction to Second Chess chess engine and secondchessW32. Not the strongest rated engine, but an engine that you can learn a lot about programming from, and it's just fun to play these sorts of engines. And thank you very much for watching.